Hi, welcome to Heat. I'm Paula and with me, Julia and Cherise stretching on the floor because today we're going to do a flexibility workout. It'll be all stretching. And isn't it sad because as a child, you can probably remember doing amazing stretches like the one Cherise demonstrating. And of course, over the years, our muscles seem to shorten, we tighten, we don't stretch as much, and we become less and less able to do amazing things like this. So today we're going to work on our flexibility and see if we can't improve it just that little bit. Okay, girls, let's get up. It's important before we go right into a flexibility workout, it's important that we warm our muscles up first. The last thing you want to do is tear a muscle. So for that purpose, I'm bringing out the chairs. I'm sure you've got a chair at home that you can grab, a nice solid chair, one with a nice flat surface, or perhaps you've got a step at home in your living room, a step up to the next level. You can step up onto that step. Anything at all, basically, that you can elevate your legs up onto and use as a bit of a support. So girls, if you'd like to grab your chairs, I'd just like you to lift your knees up until your toe touches the top of the step. And incorporate some arms, anything you like. You might do a bit of a push-pull, or with your hands up and over your head. As soon as you elevate your arms and incorporate your arms into your exercise activity, it elevates your heart rate further still. And by elevating your heart rate, of course, you're getting oxygen supply to those working muscles, and they're going to warm up and they're going to be less likely to tear. So knees are up high, keep tapping. If you're tapping up on a little low step at home, that's fine. Maybe with your foot just touching the top of the couch. That's good too. Okay, I want you to take your knees out to the side now, girls. Just out to the side, really wide, and take your arms up over your head. As your knee comes up, I want you to pull your arms down to meet that knee. Imagine you've got a pulley suspended from the ceiling, and you're hanging on to the bits of string and you're pulling down. That's it. Lifting your knees out really wide. You should be feeling at this point the heart rate's going up and you're starting to get a little bit warmer. One more either way. Now tap back up onto the chair with your push or your reach, whatever you feel comfortable doing with your arms. Give me 4 of these and then we'll do 4 knees out to the side. All right, 4 knees to the side, 2, 3, 4. Knees pushing again up onto that chair that you're using or the step, and then out to the sides. Are you getting warmer? That's the whole purpose of our warm-up, to make sure you're starting to break into a gentle sweat and your muscles are warmed up. Tap again. Last set, and knees out to the side. Perfect. March in place behind your step. Now, if you don't have a really sturdy chair that you're using at home, I suggest you keep marching and pick up your knees. But if you do have a step or a sturdy chair, turn around so that you're facing the back of your chair. And I'd like you to step up and down with one leg, nice and slow and steady. Here we go. Step up and down. Not too fast. We're going slow and steady. Climbing to the top of that mountain. Up and down. One leg over and over. Keep using that same leg. Your heart rate's going through the roof now, isn't it, Julia? All right, one more time on this leg and then we'll switch and lead with your other leg now, up and down. If you're not stepping up onto a platform at home, just march or do some more knees. It's important that you do keep moving and keep your muscles nice and warm. Are you starting to puff? Starting to perspire? It's all good. All right, march it down after this one. Ready? March it. Good. All right, I'd like you to turn now so that you're facing your bottom to the chair. Hands on knees, a narrow squat. I want you to squat it down. Squat it down. That's it. Until your bottom touches the chair. If you're feeling a little unbalanced, you can hang on to the side of the chair with one hand. Would you like to hold that one, Julia? And just balance yourself that way. Until your bottom touches the chair, you needn't put any weight on that chair. Just let the backs of the legs touch the chair and then up you come, working and warming up into the legs. Good. One more. Nice. And now straddling your chair. That's it. Hands balancing there on the back of the chair and wide squats, down and up. Beautiful. Support yourself with your hands on the back of the chair. Feeling a bit warmer through the legs, particularly as you're doing this wide squat through the inner thigh. I want you to keep moving through the break. We're going to get into some very deep stretches and do some flexibility testing to find out exactly how flexible you are. That's next. Just a few more. I hope you're still warm, and if you're still warm, that means your muscles are supple and ready to go. It's going to be very interesting as we start our stretches to see the flexibility you exhibit as we begin compared to the flexibility that you exhibit by the time we're done. I have a theory, that if you stretch your glutes, your gluteus maximus, the muscles of your bottom around that area, if you stretch that first, that it helps your hamstring muscles. Now, I don't know if I'm right, but let's put it to the test, shall we? Let's start by seeing how flexible you are at this early stage through that bottom area. Can I get you to cross your arms in front of you, crossing your legs as the girls have done, and then just lean your body forward. See if you can get your elbows to the ground. Now, Cherie can do that fairly comfortably at this early stage, and that's to be expected. She's very supple. She's done stretching all of her life. But Julia, can you really feel that through this area, through the bottom and the back of your hamstrings? Yep, she can feel it. And I'm sure you can feel that at home too. So that's about as low as you can go at this stage. Okay. All right, well, let's see how she goes after we do some hamstring stretches. See if we can't get her elbows a little bit lower and your elbows at home too. Would you extend one leg for me? Keep the other leg tucked in, ready for a hamstring stretch. So just take your right leg out and tuck that left leg in. That's perfect. All right, and just reaching gently toward that toe. Now, you may find that just sitting in that position, sit up with your hands behind your back, even just sitting in this position, you may feel that you're getting an adequate stretch through the back of the legs. You may not need to lean forward at all. Alternatively, put your hand on your knee and just press down. Can you feel that? By pulling your toe back towards you, you're getting a deeper stretch yet again. How low can you go? Gently ease forward and see how low you can go at this early stage. Okay, that's all right. Let's now stretch the quadricep through the front of your thigh. So just lean down onto your elbow over to the side and tuck that foot in behind and pull it in tight. Now stretching the quadricep muscle group and trying to pull that knee back, at the same time pressing the hip forward to stretch through the hip flexors as well as the quads. Good. Now extend this leg out for me and lift up onto that knee, up and over for a beautiful stretch right along the length of the torso. Good. Well, that's one side taken care of. If you'd cross your legs, let's try that glute stretch again. Just crossing your legs. See if we've given it any assistance so far. I guess we might need to do the other side before we really see some results, but just go forward. See if that's begun to loosen you up a little bit. Good. Julia's going a little bit further already. I hope you are at home too. Does it feel a little bit more comfortable? Try the hamstring stretch now. Take the other leg out to the side. So you have one leg tucked in and one leg out. And just reach gently forward. Bearing in mind, it's okay if you want to sit upright. If you can feel that stretch through your hamstrings, that's all you need to worry about. The degree with which you're leaning forward is really irrelevant so long as you can feel the stretch. Have you tested as far as you can go now? The longer you can hold that stretch, the better. A full 30 seconds would be fabulous. All right, let's lean back now for a quadricep stretch, just so we're stretching and fully balancing our entire body. Push your hip forward and you'll feel the focus of that stretch move into the hip area. And extend your top leg up onto your knee as you reach up and over. A beautiful full body stretch. Let's test out that glute stretch one more time. Crossing your legs and sitting back down. See if you're not loosening up a little bit. Reach forward, elbows toward the ground. Cherie is flat down now. Are you a little further, Julia? Good. I have one more stretch for you glutes. Can I get you to roll onto your back? Laying down and cross one ankle over your knee. All right, I want you to gently pull that leg in and out to see how far it can go without assistance. In and out, a reverse curl just a couple of times, in and out. And now pull it in and use your arms. Take your arms through your legs and wrap it around this leg and pull in tight, knees toward the chest. Great. Okay, switch to the other leg. Cross it over, rock it in and out. A couple of little reverse curls, and then I want you to hug that knee into your chest. And when you're done, try that cross-legged stretch and tell me if you haven't gone a whole lot further. We'll be back with some more stretches in a moment. We're not finished yet. During the break, Julia really worked on her glute stretching. She was lying on her back, pulling the knees in. I hope you were doing that too. And look at the results. How far can you go now when you stretch and test? Remember at the beginning, Julia, her elbows were barely touching her knees, and now are you on the floor? Nelly, I think we could finish Julia off nicely. I'll ask you, Julia, just holding it fairly low, I want you to push up against my resistance. If you've got someone at home who you trust to be very gentle with you, you can try this form of stretching at home. Just push against me as if you're trying to push me away, Julia. Lift up, lifting up as hard as you can. Harder, can you push me over backwards? Great, now ease off and I'll ease you gently down. Are you on the floor? One more time just to be sure. Push up against me as hard as you can. Get rid of me. Get this load off your back. And you can start to relax. And I'm gently easing Julia down. I'm not applying a lot of force. And her elbows are comfortably on the floor, yeah? Fantastic. Never do a stretch like this unless you are adequately warmed up and stretched out. And then you can go into that more advanced stretching and see some fantastic results. I'd like you girls to sit with your legs out in front of you. I just want to measure your hamstring flexibility at this early stage. Can you reach forward and without bouncing, we don't do any bouncing when we're stretching, how far can you go? Can you touch your toes? Cherie's touching her toes comfortably. How about you, Julia? You're at the ankles? Okay, if you can touch your toes, that's good. Below the toes, if you're not quite there, I guess that's a slightly below average result, and you do need to work on your flexibility. Let's see how far we can get Cherie to go. We know she's very flexible. Can you get to the ends of your hands, just your wrists? If you can get to your wrists, that is good flexibility. If you're doing that at home, well done, bravo. How far can you go, Cherie? Can you get to the midline of your forearms? Not quite. If you can reach all the way forward to the middle of your forearms, you are in the elite category. That would be excellent, excellent flexibility. All right, swinging around now, girls, if you could lie on your backs. And with your legs extended, laying out flat. I'd like you to just lift one leg up as high as it can go before you get a bend at the knee. Point your toe. All right, we've got all varying degrees here. Ideally, we'd like your knee to come up to 90 degrees. That means you have good flexibility through the hamstring area. Julia does need to do a little bit of extra hamstring stretching to get that result. You can relax. And as we can see over here, Cherie's gone beyond that 90 degrees. The natural flexibility through the hamstring area is excellent. And that's a result of hours of stretching almost every day as a dancer. All right. I want you to hug your knee into your chest. Let's pull one knee in. Give it a good hug. Fantastic. You can feel that. That's a very gentle hamstring stretch as well. And then grabbing behind your ankle, or if you struggle a little bit with your hamstring flexibility, I'd like you to hold your leg behind the hamstring itself, up above the knee. Thanks, Julia. And now extend that leg and pull it back towards you as best you can. It doesn't matter if your knee is bent, so long as you can feel that gentle stretch through your hamstring. That's a good result. All right, change legs. Give the other knee a hug. You've got to be kind to your legs. You've got to hug them every now and then. They're working hard for you. Grabbing at the ankle or the back of the thigh, wherever it's comfortable, and extend the leg as high as you can. Can you feel that stretch, Julia? Great. Now, I'd like you to sit up, and I've brought some towels in, and we're going to use these towels in the same way that you could use a rope or a belt. I'd like you to wrap the towel around your feet, hanging onto the ends, and I want you to just gently climb down the rope and see if by using that extra apparatus, you can't get a little bit closer towards your toes than you would ordinarily get. Can you feel that? And you're flexing your feet, pulling your toes back towards you, and using the towel for a bit of leverage. It can be a towel, it could be a belt, a piece of string, anything you like. Good. Creep your hands as far forward as you can. Now, Julia, at the start of our hamstring stretch, you couldn't quite touch your toes. Would you like to drop the rope now? Drop the rope. Can you touch your toes? That's fantastic. You can see the immediate improvement in Julia's hamstring stretch because she's spent 5 minutes really working that stretch out. I hope you're getting those results at home too. We'll be back with some more stretching in just a moment. That's lovely. Good. So how did you wind up at the end of your stretching? Did you find that you were a lot more supple by the end of it than you were at the very beginning? I hope you got similar results to the results we certainly saw with Julia, and you even felt a lot looser too, didn't you, Cherie? Well, it's all gentle stretching now, and some stretches for the upper body as well. So I want you to reach your arms forward on your knees and take your knees slightly apart with your ankles together. Good. Now pressing back your bottom towards your ankles and drop your head down between your arms. Pushing right back. This is a lovely stretch, very relaxing. If you've had a stressful day, dare I say, hop down on the floor, get into this position, and you'll feel a lot better. Beautiful stretch through the back, the shoulders, and all the way down the arms, even stretching all the way through the lower back and the gluteal area. Coming up onto your hands and your knees, and I want you to tuck your head under and arch your back like a cat. Pull your tummy in really tight and see if you can't make it a really large raise here in the upper back area. Now, hollow it down. Good. Not too much flexion at the neck. We want to be gentle on those delicate muscles here in the back of the neck. Pull it in again. Imagine somebody's got a needle with a thread pulling your belly button all the way through your back. That's it. And hollow it out. Good. Go back into that original pose, stretching your bottom back. You can feel that stretch evenly spread along the back and the arms. But what if you were to reach your arms just to one side? Lift your heads just a little and creep your hands, both of them, over in one direction, and then pulling out with the accent along this side of your body. Great. Pull right back, bottom down. Great. Keep your hands locked on the floor, and you should feel that stretch all the way, particularly down that arm and through the back. That's good. Coming up, creep your hands along to the other side. Lock those hands into the floor and pull away, bottoms down. So now we're balancing it out and you're getting that stretch equally along the other side. This is a great stretch to try if you are feeling any shoulder stiffness, any back soreness. Try a series of these gentle stretches and you might be surprised at how it alleviates some of that tension that you're feeling. Come back up and do another cat arch for me, sucking your tummy in. Head down, tummy's in. Beautiful. And release. Okay, with one foot forward on your knee and a hip flexor stretch, what I want you to do, a little bit like the Rocky Horror Show, the pelvic thrust. I want you to pelvic thrust forward and hold it. You should feel that tightening through your iliopsoas, the muscle that extends from the hip through the thigh. Just push it forward, bottom tucked right underneath. That's good. Now creep the foot further forward and lunge your body forward and put your hands down on the inside of your foot. Great. Getting a groin stretch, hamstring stretch. Lovely. And pull back now, gently back to change legs. Put the other knee up. Hip flexor stretch by tucking that bottom under, the pelvic thrust, remember? And you should feel it getting really tight through this area. Good. Creep your foot forward and lunge down, nice and low. See if you can get your hands down on the insides of your knees. I hope you're on a comfortable bit of carpet or a mat, because on the hardwood floor, I must say, it's a bit hard on the knees. So I hope you found yourself a really nice, soft, comfortable place at home. Maybe even with a towel folded up underneath your knee. That might do the trick. Ease back out of that stretch and let's stand. Dust yourself down a little. Give your legs a bit of a shake. All right. With your legs just comfortably apart, take one foot behind the other. The leg in the back is straight. The leg in front is bent. And I want you to reach up your body, look at that arm, and reach over, pushing your weight through this hip area. Over we go, looking up your arm. Can you feel that through your hip? Good. And change legs. Over we go, front leg is straight, front leg is bent, back leg is straight. Reach up your body and slightly over to the side, looking up. All that weight through into the hip area. You've stretched really well. You've worked your body. You've done yourself a few favors. Shake it out. And if you practice your stretches several times a week for a good 20 or 30 minutes, you might find your flexibility improving and maybe returning. Well done. You feel good?